This is the KoperCrabb Podcast.
I'm Cheney Crab.
I am Naveen Copper Weiss. I swear I know my own name.
If you guys have any questions or music to submit to the podcast, email us at KoperCrabbPodcast@gmail.com. If you would like to buy merch or contribute monetarily to the podcast, then hit up our Big Cartel. The link is in the description, babies.
We're also a video vidcast. So if you want to watch on YouTube, you can see what we look like. You can see...
and we're pretty cute.
You can see me fumbling to try... I'm the producer, for those of you who don't know that.
You are. Naveen Copperweiss, producer. Naveen Copperweiss, camera director. Yeah. Naveen Copperweiss,
lighting
tech.
director.
Cheney...
colorist, lighting
Naveen
director.
Copperweiss, colorist.
So I am the producer, and that's why there's like 5 bajillion cables on the table.
Mic guy.
Yeah, so that kind of sucks. But we are moving
Set
to
director.
a new studio, right, Cheney?
That's true. That is where we're moving. We're moving to a new studio.
Yeah, we are moving to a new studio, and I swear I'm gonna fucking clean this desk up, dude, and it's gonna look pro. It's gonna look legit.
We're also gonna pull our old table in.
Yeah, the sad part is that it's like every time we try to go pro, we get set back.
Yeah, going pro.
But I feel like right now we're probably the most pro we've ever been in terms of it looks really nice.
Totally.
It sounds decent. Things are smooth.
Once we get that table back, man,
yeah,
it's on.
What happened was we bought this super sick table, and then when we moved into this studio,
when we moved into our second studio our first studio,
it didn't fit in the room, so we had to use.
We got a small studio this time.
Our merch table with a drop cloth on top of it.
This is our merch table, huh?
Yeah. So
it's been a long time since it's seen merch.
It's been outside. Yeah. Speaking of which, we had to go through our trailer. We have 2 trailers. We are such hillbillies, man.
Yeah,
I swear.
Sure.
We're Beverly hillbillies, dude.
That's why we're taking it to the South, brother.
I know.
Hey, y'all, we're taking this all down in the South, y'all.
I know. The thing, the ironic part, the really ironic part about that, though, is that the neighborhood that we're moving to is like really clean, and like everyone's lawn is like super well kept and stuff.
That's right. Best believe I checked that out on Google Maps before I decided that we're to move there. It's like, how does this street look?
Yeah. So what
I don't want any trash on my street. There's too much trash on this street. I've noticed there is a place of business across the street from us, and people will park in front of our mailbox. And I've seen their trash on the streets lately, and it's pissing me the fuck off.
Okay.
It's making me really mad.
But that's what I was trying to say. We have like a massive amount of shit in the yard right now.
True.
Because we have, well, wait a minute. We sold one of the trailers. So
we did.
We had 2 trailers because one of them is our old trailer. Yep. And then we got we bought a new trailer to go on a tour that got canceled. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Which would have been sick. It was with Archspire.
Well, the first one was with Allegiant and Fallujah.
Wait a minute, we had 2 tours?
That's right.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, we had 2 tours. We had
we were about to do some madman stuff.
We were about to go through all of North America on tour.
Yeah.
And then get married 2 months after the 2-month tour. Because we're psychotic.
Boy, did all that change.
Yeah, it's like it was written in the cards.
It was written. Sometimes things just don't work out, and you got to redo them.
That's right.
So... we're going to get to do our redo here pretty soon.
We do a lot of redos.
But
just redo.
We cleaned out trailers, so there's a bunch I don't even know how to explain it. We didn't bother to like do something with all the stuff. So there's just like a bunch of stuff in the driveway. So it's outside. Because I'm just like, you know what would be sick is if someone came and stole it.
Oh, dude, I would love that.
But no one's going to steal it.
I wish they would.
I know. Steal it.
This is one of those cases where I'm like, please steal all this stuff.
I know.
Because I don't want to fuck with it. Okay? I just want it to be gone out of my life.
And that's what I've thought of. I'm like...
Because I'm going to have to take some of it to Goodwill before we move. We're going to have to like pack it up.
There's a mountain of boxes.
We're going to have to recycle. Those van benches are like just haunting my dreams.
Right. The van benches that we took out when we redid the van.
Well,
I took them out.
Let's not include me in
when
this.
When we redid the van, those are just chilling in the... But I did cover those up with a tarp. So they're protected. Because it did, ironically, or I guess I would say it's more inevitable.
It's like rain.
Right,
it's like rain.
Right when we cleaned out the trailers, boom, thunderstorms.
It's like rain when you put tarps on your van benches.
Yeah, exactly. That's how the song goes. So, anyway, all that to say is that I'm stoked to move, and
can't wait.
I swear, man, it's like, what are we? We're looking at like 6 weeks. 6 weeks more.
Yeah. Yeah, about 7.
Oh, don't do me like that, man.
It's about 6.5.
I've been telling myself it's 6 weeks, man.
Well, pretty soon it's going to be 6 days.
Because anyway, every day I'm just like, fuck, move.
Yeah. I'm excited to move because there's this weird like purgatory that we're in now where it's like...
It's a weird purgatory, man.
I'm ready to start my new thing. That I have going on in Nashville.
Yeah, so we are moving to Nashville if you didn't see the last episode.
Nash Vegas.
Yeah.
Nash Angeles. Nash.
People from Nashville are like, I hate you.
Please don't.
Kill this person.
Yeah. What if our new neighbors, they like do the research, they find out who's living in the house next to them, and they look us up.
They're like, no.
And they check out this episode of the podcast, and that's the only thing they have to go off of.
So it's us being like, we're such freaking hillbillies that we're moving to Nashville. And then it's you doing the worst Southern accent of all time. And then saying stuff like Nash Vegas. Yeah.
We are not welcome in Nashville.
Petitioned the fuck out of town.
They're already voting.
Yeah. Well, I have been waiting for like what's going to go wrong.
I feel like we have an in because we have a friend. We have friends.
Multiple friends.
We have
close friends.
We have a friend couple who are actually from Nashville.
Yeah. And actually from the town that we're moving to.
So I feel a little like we're kind of grandfathered in.
I know. Yeah. So, hey, we're down. We're down. We're down. Don't kick us out just yet.
Yeah. I mean, we're trying to come. We love Nashville. I'm from Iowa. I mean, I'm not Californian.
So you're nice. You're nice.
So I'm nice. I'm bringing nothing but casseroles and good tidings down to the fucking South. My casseroles, not quite as good as yours. That's not quite as good as y'all's, but maybe one of you can teach me.
Nice try. Yeah. I don't know if they have corn casserole in Nashville.
Oh, I can almost guarantee that corn casserole originated in the South, and Midwesterners just took it up and did some fucked up.
Well, I always thought that corn casserole was a big thing in Des Moines because they grow so much corn there.
Yeah, Iowa's actually the corn state.
That's what I'm saying. That's why you have a tattoo.
Let's not talk about it.
Channing has an Iowa tattoo. You can't get it covered up.
Everyone tells me that I've like messed up my life because I can't get my Iowa tattoo covered up.
Yeah, because then everybody from Iowa is going to be like, wow, she covered up. She covered us up. She turned her back on us.
But I talk about Iowa like at every turn. Like I've noticed lately in conversations, I'm like, well, I'm from Des Moines. I'm from Iowa. People are probably getting sick of hearing about it. Yeah. So having a tattoo, it doesn't matter.
I don't know.
The only reason I want to get it covered up is because I feel like I have better taste now that I'm older. I'm not 19 anymore. I have a little better taste.
Let's see the tattoo. Come on, bust it out. So for those of you who are not watching, it's the outline of Iowa, and it has a corn and crossbones over where Des Moines is.
That's right.
So,
which is where I'm from.
Yeah. So wait, when I met you, was that fresh?
No. I got it when I was 18 or 19.
Okay. So a couple of years old.
A couple of years. I mean, it's aged pretty well, but yeah, I'm just, I've grown out of it. I'm a different person now. I've got a different taste in tattoos, and I'd like to get some
California outlines.
Nice black work over it. Yeah, I'd like to get an outline of Nashville. Just an outline of just the city of Nashville over it. Maybe the state of Tennessee.
Yeah, well, I'm excited. I've never lived outside of California, so I'm like just stoked.
I know. Wait. I'm really interested to see how you like react.
Everyone's trying to say, "Oh, dude, you're not gonna be able to handle the weather. I'm gonna miss my family. This and that." Like, you guys are so wrong. Like, I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna be the prince of Nashville.
You think so?
No, but I think
be a la Chase Frazier in Santa Cruz.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the Prince of Santa Cruz, but I'm not.
Chase is for sure the Prince of Santa Cruz.
Okay, I won't be the Prince of Nashville, but I will be like doing fine. Trust me.
You'll be doing fine.
I'm gonna be doing just fine.
You know what I'm looking forward to?
I've been to cold and hot weather. That's another thing people tell me at work. Oh, it's gonna be so hot in the summer. It's like, yeah, it's gonna be so hot in the summer. I love hot weather.
You have been literally praying for it to live through a hot summer for years.
Forever.
Years. Yeah, you've been wanting that.
I'm like,
you know what I will say?
If we had a summer here, because people don't realize, oh, they live in California. It must be so warm there. Wrong. We live in Northern California.
It's never warm.
It is freezing.
The only real change in season that you ever notice in California is the fall, is the kind of like summer, fall, winter change. You know how summer and fall here are kind of intertwined into one thing.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah. So the end of summer is the warmest, but then like one day later, it's just gone. Right. So that's what happened.
Right.
It was really nice a couple weeks ago. It was like hot, and then now it's just boom. It's not really cold though. It's just really mild here.
No, it's very mild, and there's never been a hot night. Never even a warm night ever. Maybe one warm night I've lived here now for 9 years.
The nights are freezing. We live near the beach, and people don't realize it cools off down here.
Yeah, so I think that you'll really enjoy all of that stuff. You know, thunderstorms, that's something that I miss a lot. So I'm looking forward to thunderstorms happening. There's different weather there. And Northern California is very unique in the United States. California, period, has very unique weather because there are there are rainstorms here for sure. They're few and far between, but thunder does not exist. I remember the one time I heard thunder in LA, it scared the shit out of me, and I thought that the city was being bombed because I'm not joking.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And like in Santa Cruz, no one has air conditioning because you never need it.
Why would you need that? It's cold. You need a heater.
You need a heater, even in the summer.
I remember the first time I brought you to Santa Cruz. And it was like March. Yeah. And I remember just staying in that room that we were staying in, and it was like so freezing.
Yeah.
And I remember just thinking like, dang, I bet she just thinks this is weird.
Well, yeah. I've always thought it's
freezing
weird.
It was. And it was like March.
Still to this day, it's so weird to me. There are a lot of things about the middle of the country that I miss just weather-wise that I am excited to see again. I know that it's rare that it snows in Tennessee, but it has happened. There's a chance. That's cool.
Yeah. Actually, one of the first times that I went on tour with animals, we stayed in Nashville with Evan, and it was like a snowstorm. Oh, wow. And I kind of thought that was just normal, but apparently that was a very rare thing.
I know. When we were talking to Malcolm a few weeks ago, he said that he thinks the last snowstorm was like 10 years ago.
So it might have been that time.
Right.
Well, that was probably a little bit more than 10.
No, it could be. It could be right around the same time, though.
Yeah. Might have been the last because we got stuck.
Yeah.
It was shot.
I'm also Nashville seems to have a really, really popping metal scene.
I know.
We know a ton of people who play metal there. I'm just really excited.
We're excited.
Over the weekend, we went to a Halloween party. Our friend Jared Christensen, who's going to be on the podcast next week. He's in Archaic. And his fiance Shara had a party, and we were there, and Jared was just telling me about he just went to Nashville to like shoot some music videos, and he was just telling me about is it good? He was telling me about like this warehouse that they went to shoot a video where it was like every room was set up for a different like to shoot a movie essentially. Yeah, that's what the whole warehouse was for.
You just rent it, and it's already got the different sets already set up.
Apparently, yeah. Yeah, and that, I mean, you know, that's stuff that's very LA.
Yeah.
That we haven't really been around since we lived in LA, because Santa Cruz is really kind of cut off from everything, which I have very much enjoyed. There are no billboards in Santa Cruz. It's super like mom and pop and low key beach community. But I think it will be cool to be kind of put back into that vibe where everything's a little more convenient for people who play music and who tour and who shoot music videos. Creators, if you will. Creators, TikTok creators, YouTube. So just lots of stuff for us to create.
Yeah, a lot of creators. I wonder if there's creators in the wild there. Like people.
Oh, I fucking bet.
Because I want to see some.
I bet.
I want to see some creators in the wild.
On that note, if anyone has any good recommendations for what to do on Christmas in Nashville, because Naveen and I have decided we're pretty much rolling in.
We're bailing.
We're bailing Santa Cruz.
Basically, I quit my job. That's right. NK quit it.
Can we get a round of applause?
That's all I got.
I mean, that's pretty fucking close. Fairy godmother shit.
Yeah.
Quitting your
job. And my last day. This is why we're not like leaving right now, because we have secured a space. A creator's house, if you will.
We have a creator's house, and we're sending poor Evan. He's checking on our house for us.
Yeah. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the reason why we're not leaving is because I've agreed to stay and work until mid-December.
Which is very, very.
So every day at work, I'm basically a dead man. I'm just a zombie.
I was going to say, if you're aware of how badly Naveen has dreamt of quitting his job.
They're not aware of that, because I'm always like, you know what, guy? I try to keep I try to keep it real. I'm trying to like, hey, you know what? It's not so bad. And it's not so bad. It's actually great.
No, you have a great job.
And
that's a part of why we're staying for so long.
Yeah, exactly. I want to do right with the people that I work with.
We both have good jobs, and we both want to.
Yeah.
That's pretty much where we're at. We both want to do right with the people who we work with.
Exactly. It's not a job of a full-time creator, which is what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, you're trying to be like
content creator
in the wild.
Yeah. But
what kind of content are you planning on creating, Naveen?
Well, I don't know, because now I just ordered a flip phone. So my content is probably going to tank.
Not much creating going on.
Which I'm going to go on a rant about on next week's episode, because I will have the flip phone in hand. Man. So look out for that.
Really do look out. And if you hear his one rant, then just keep in your mind how Cheney is hearing this same rant about 5 times a day.
Yeah, all the time.
Pray for me.
So anyway, we are going flip phone. All glories to Chase Frazier.
Chase has gone flip phone.
He started the revolution.
I think it's a good idea. Is he using the same one that you're getting?
I don't think so. The one I'm getting is actually pretty sick.
Yeah.
It's people probably are not aware of this kind of flip phone technology.
What is it called? Is it Cricket or something?
No, it's like a Kyocera Extreme something.
Okay.
It's badass. First of all, you can throw it in a pool.
That's pretty cool.
You can drop it off of a fucking building.
I looked around on our on the Google Maps of our neighborhood, and both of our neighbors have like sick in-ground pools.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, gonna toss your phone over the pool. That's how I'm gonna meet them. I'm gonna be like, oh, sorry, I tossed my phone.
Have you guys seen a phone back here at all? Or
flip phone? And it's gonna be like the 13-year-old. They have like some kid.
They're gonna be, what's that?
13-year-old, and they're gonna be like, dude, like, what's a flip phone?
They're not from the valley.
Oh, it's gonna be like, oh, hey y'all, like, what's a flip phone? I never heard of that before.
Oh my god. We're gonna get ran out of town. I hope nobody from Nashville sees this. If you're from Nashville and you listen to this, I'm so sorry, because we suck.
Me too.
But I swear we're gonna add to the community. We have value.
We're creators.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly who you want to move into your town, right? It's like,
content
please
creators.
Let it be an influencer who moves in next door to me.
Yeah, you're putting your house for sale, and you're like,
do you dare me when our neighbors come and bring us a casserole? I'll be like, oh hey, I'm Cheney. I'm a
content creator.
I'm a content creator.
Yeah. Well, the funny part is that we kind of are trying to be content creators. That's the worst part about it.
Been had creating content for like years.
Like we're like ultra concerned with like putting out podcasts and
like videos.
Yeah, and like how well are like TikToks
we have like we got a thing going over on TikTok, you know?
Yeah, that's honestly, just random though. That's just random.
That's so random.
Yeah, that's just I don't know how that happened.
We might be the only people over the age of 13 on TikTok.
Maybe that's why. Maybe they're like, wow, these old people are just they're like doing something weird.
That might be the gimmick. It might be like, look at these fucking old people.
Yeah, I don't think that you look very old though. Like, you know, and especially in some random TikTok video.
Me?
Yeah, you probably just look like you're in your mid-20s.
Thanks. I am.
Thank you.
I was born in 93.
What? It's not. I don't know. No.
1893.
My brother and sister were born in 95, I think.
My sister was born in 97.
What?
Yeah, dude. I remember the.
That's like. I went to Primus in 97.
Holy shit, dude. That story can never not get brought up on a podcast.
Yeah.
The Primus story.
It's like my first actual show.
All roads lead to Primus.
Okay. All right. We're going to have to try that. You know, like you give me a topic, I'll bring it back to that Primus story. The other day I was wondering this.
Do you think that our band kind of sounds like Primus? Sorry, babe.
You're having a rough go over there, huh?
I'm having a hard time.
That's not even close to being correct.
All right, I'm going to work on it.
Oh my gosh.
This is like Naveen's biggest, worst nightmare in the whole world.
Because I'm also thinking about how, like, are we going to... I'm doing producer at the same time. I'm like, are we going to edit this out? And then I'm like, well, if we are going to edit it out, it's going to take me like an hour to like export a new video.
So, you know, we've been talking about actually getting like better. For some reason, I'm the only person who ever has a problem with this thing.
Because you're heavy-handed.
And I just love, I think it's... Did you mean to do that?
No. Can you tighten that?
Yeah. And there's the fact that like I am so used to like being able to move around the microphone that I use. You know what I mean? I'm used to like being able to manhandle my microphone.
This is not your
Oh my God. Okay.
woman handle.
Speaking of TikTok and microphones, someone left the funniest fucking comment on our TikTok the other day. Because I'm doing vocals into an SM7B. Someone was like, damn, okay, girl, doing vocals into a podcasting microphone. That's tight.
So wasn't it funny on that? It was like, damn, she's going all crazy into a podcast
damn, she's going ape shit on a podcast microphone.
Ridiculous.
That's cool. So, you know, maybe that'll be a goal for us to get a couple of
podcast microphones. Well, we do have one of those, but I mean, sometimes I see people's podcasts and they have the SM7s, you know?
And it's like, what?
And I'm like, does it sound better than ours? You know?
No, a lot of them don't. Actually, I heard, we were listening to some podcast yesterday and they had 7Bs and it was hella like boomy and reverby. It was like,
because they didn't have any,
they didn't deaden the room.
Sound panels. Holler at your boy.
These motherfucking non-musicians out here trying to make
these panels are not just for looks, okay? They have actual high density.
They're dulling the voice.
They got rock wool in there, baby.
That's why it doesn't sound like we're in a cave.
It does when we speak loud. Because you get...
Hey!
So, yeah.
Not really. Theirs was like... like booming.
So, hey, we're professional content creators.
Oh, we are. I mean, it's not far off. Okay?
It's just content... sucks so bad. Like,
but I think that content creators
it's like
is
stop
different.
Looking at content. Okay,
it's like acting and doing the, those videos that are all like,
yeah, like zooms in and all
these. I'm not about that shit.
Type of thing. That's the thing. We just put ourselves out there.
Yeah.
So we're better than everybody else. Is what we're trying to say.
So we are creation itself.
I mean, like I said, we shouldn't be. We're not holier than thou. We are also.
We are beyond creator.
Actually,
What's up, guys? We're beyond creator.
beyond creators. Well, no, I had that idea for a shirt that was like Creator the band.
Yeah.
And it was like some
with
random
a C? Naveen, don't give out this idea. This is a really good idea.
And instead of it's like the band, it's like some creator like on his phone. Like
that would be so.
Like, I don't know, whatever.
That would be such a good selling shirt. I bet we'd sell about 10 of those.
Oh, we should make it.
Yeah. That's right.
There you go.
That's another thing to throw on the creator list.
Yeah. We do have
things
merch
to create.
But it's not that funny.
It's really not funny. It's not funny merch.
Actually, you know what was funny last night? We were watching something on YouTube, and then what was it? Tweaker Hunter came up.
Oh, Tweaker Hunters.
Yeah. Tweaker Hunters came up.
This is why. Because this is a fucking red alert. We need to maybe show everyone, because if you've heard us speaking about Jesco White, the wild and wonderful whites of West Virginia.
We speak about that a lot. That's all right.
I feel like we do. Well, we have some sound.
Oh, yeah.
Samples.
I still don't know.
By the way,
there's nothing going to be left of the world.
That's Jesco White.
Someone, James Chaney, sent us his last name's Chaney.
His last name is Chaney?
Yeah. Oh. He's from Virginia, and he sent us. He was the first person to guess that was Jesco White. He knew right a fucking way, right? Because he's from Boone County. This dude's from Boone County.
Not because he saw the Wild and Wonderful Whites.
No, it's because he is directly from Boone County, and he hit me up with some information. There is a whole nother, like, Jesco-esque guy, but he's a drummer. And he sent me the YouTube link, and we've got it in the KoperCrabb email, and we need to watch that shit.
I need to find that real quick. Well, I don't have. How do I find that?
Yeah, I think that's something that we're going to have to bring up next week.
All right.
I could forward it to you right now, though.
I think maybe you should do that. Let's do that right now because we're on it. There's
nothing going to be left of the world. It'll be cinerated, and God will have to pick out what he's going to take home out of the ashes.
I agree with that. I really think he's onto something.
I know. That is just one of the best. That's the best. But I did notice about my drops, I guess you want to call them, is they should be quicker. You know, that's like a whole phrase. You know, you got to sit back and listen to it.
Yeah, so James, this is also funny because James's last name is Chaney, and it's spelled exactly like mine, which you don't really come across. Exactly like my first name, which you don't come across a lot.
You don't.
I just forwarded it to you. So it's called Hazel Atkins, Different Drummer Documentary, and I've never... Wait, Jesco White did a different drummer too. But anyways, the reason I brought this... I think it's the name of the podcast.
Oh.
The reason I brought this up is because we found an update last night.
Head of the bed with me. You jump up out of bed, pull his hair down his eye.
Holy shit.
Orchestra.
How could you understand that?
How's that? My name is Irene Jane Doe.
Yeah, this is definitely something that we're going to watch in full after this podcast.
45 years.
I can't wait to watch this.
Age 62.
But anyway, it's this kind of content that led us to watching Tweaker Hunters.
These guys are some real content creators right here, dude.
Yeah.
Go away, can't you see? Cause she don't love me. She don't love me like she did.
This rips
This
straight
is
up,
a
dude.
sad song.
I'm into it.
Office in Boone County, and I encountered hassle.
Boone County.
Dude, that's the fucking guy,
I know,
dude.
the guy on
That's the attorney from Wild and Wonderful Whites.
It totally is.
Right? Isn't that him?
The guy on the right?
The guy on the left. He's like, you had a guy who went to MIT.
Yeah, is that him?
MIT. That's him.
Look
dude.
him up. Look him up. Frank knew it.
Okay, yeah.
Isn't that funny? Frank knew it.
Yeah.
He knew that guy. He knew that they shouldn't be focusing on the whites.
Yeah, he knew. He called it.
He knew it.
Look at this guy's got his name in Sanskrit. Oh boy.
It's going to be hard to find him.
Hold on. Should I put in
Wild and Wonderful
What is
Whites.
it? Boone County. So wait, we've got a friend who lives in Boone County?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? Is that what you're talking
about? That's right.
Can we go hang out with him?
He's at least from there. James, can we come and hang out with you, dude?
That would be sick. No, that's definitely him, dude. That's definitely him.
Okay, he's just from Boone County. Where do you live now, James? The thing is that James could probably take us on like the most extensive tour of Boone County. It would be so fun.
Yeah.
But last night, so there's an update. There's a Wild and Wonderful Whites update. And you know what's the shittiest part of the update to me?
The update is the shittiest part. It was bumming me out. Actually, I was thinking about it at work.
The bum out to me was that Tyler, who was the little kid in the documentary who was like, fuck Dennis. Dennis is this.
Yeah.
He's all like messed up on at least pot.
It's not pot.
It's not pot.
No, I think they said he was.
Sue Bob is real fucked
stuff.
up though.
Yeah,
Sue Bob is not in a good way.
I know. Maybe we could probably get them on our podcast. I mean, just saying.
I would love to have them on.
But we did find out that
not even as funny. Like I just want to talk to them.
Totally. I don't know. I feel like they're sort of members of my family in a weird way.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Dude, I mean, Wild and Wonderful Whites. I remember when I watched that documentary for the first time, I found it. First of all, I was one of our friends to find it because you guys were tracking Weightless and you were in the other room. And a lot of days, like me, I would hang out in our room and Kalella would be in like Tosin and Kalella's room just hanging out, right? I was looking up documentaries on Netflix and I found this documentary called Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia. Or maybe it was on YouTube. I can't even remember what it was on.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then I showed Kalella. I was like, you got to watch this shit with me. This is crazy.
I remember I was kind of like, what the hell is this crap? What are you watching here? This is stupid.
But it's literally like, I mean, you watch it and I think the first couple of times through, you kind of laugh and you're like, what the hell? And like every time since then, I've just been like, man, this is crazy. It's crazy that there's a part of society that just keeps like reliving this over and over and over. And how do you break the cycle of that? There's this book I read about a guy that's from Appalachia that kind of broke out of the cycle. It's called Hillbilly Elegy.
Really?
They made a movie and I think it's starring Amy Adams and it's on Netflix now. It's crazy because I read this book years and years before the movie came out. And it's like about this guy who grew up in the same circumstances. His mom was addicted to drugs. His grandma raised him. And he like became some highfalutin guy who went to Harvard and wrote a book about breaking out. So it's all about the, you know, how the societal just circle.
Right.
The circle of society that it goes into. You know, people, there are parents who are down and out and they live and raise these kids who grow up to be down and out and kind of feed off of the system, and it's just like an endless cycle. So
right. Well, it's like the classic, you know, nature nurture thing.
Yeah.
You know, do you think those people are like that because of the way they're raised or because they are just going to be like that anyway?
Well, I think it has a lot to do with the way that they're raised. Yeah. I think that nature and nurture both play a part in people's lives, but I do think that, you know, when you get stuck in like the cycle of drugs and feeding off of the system and crime and thinking that you can't like breach this ceiling,
right?
That's far more nurture than nature, because obviously, if the dude who wrote Hillbilly Elegy could break out of it, obviously, it's breakable.
Right.
It's a breakable.
Yeah, it's weird because you I'm sure we could all think of people who have had different types of upbringing and came out differently than what their nurturer would have been, right?
Totally. I mean, I feel like I talk about that a lot. That it all has to do with like all of these. There are a lot of like tiny decisions you can make in life. You know, there are a lot of ways you can go. You can grow up. Say you're 14, your parents get divorced. You live with your mom. You want to live with your dad. Your dad's got like a marries a new woman and you hate her. Your mom's got all this shit going on, and you could use that as fuel to become a drug addict, go the dark route, or you could use that as fuel to go the light route. So I really think that all of these things come down to like whether you're programmed or taught, the way that you handle decisions.
Yeah.
The way that you handle these crossroads that you face in life.
Definitely.
Because it always seems like when people go through a huge challenge like a drug addiction or something like that, it can always be traced back to that. But also back to like this bad thing that happened in their life. My dad left and this led to that and that.
Right.
But it also seems like, when people accomplish great things, it can also be traced back to those things. So perhaps, I don't know. I do have a feeling that a lot of it comes down to, how you're trained to handle those decisions in life, and whether or not you can face the consequences or think about the consequences.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people make decisions and don't think about the consequences at all.
Right. But it's sort of like your temperament determines how you react in those situations.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Because there's people who go through horrendous stuff, like my grandpa.
Absolutely. That's a great example.
You think about that, and there's so many people who have gone through what he went through and just came out completely differently.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it does seem like circumstantially what you're up against shapes you in a way. But then it's also, there's something deeper inside of you that determines how you're going to deal with it.
Yeah. And who knows where that comes from?
Yeah, I don't know.
That could be nature and nurture. Someone will, a parent could die early in their life, and then you're 14 and everyone's like, oh man, that's exactly what they would have done. And your parent was actually never there.
And you didn't really know them that well.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think people who are, what do you think of this? People who are kind of more like spiritual.
Yeah.
Think it has more to do with like just nature. And I think people who are a little more materialistic might think it has more to do with the nurture aspect.
Yeah, however, I think that, in a spiritual sense, you could say that the spirituality is the nurture. Because nature isn't really spirituality, is it? Is that what they would say?
I guess it depends on what spiritual sect you're talking to. But like in the Hindu realm, it's a lot more to do with nature than nurture.
Yeah. However, if
nature would be like
the spirituality, but if the spirituality were all based on nature, then why would we need to learn about spirituality in our lives?
Yeah. So I think there is the aspect there of that you can change the way things are going.
Yeah.
But you have to deal with like your karma. Right.
Right.
But your karma is due to the decisions that you make.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how you evolve.
Yeah.
The idea there in the sort of Eastern Indian philosophy would be you want to evolve to be liberated from having to deal with the nurture all the time.
Yeah.
From having to deal with the nature. Right? So that means that you're growing towards spirituality and away from all these material pangs, if you want to call them that.
Right.
Right? So the drug stuff and all that, right?
Yeah.
To give yourself a better shot as you keep evolving and you keep traveling up and up in your spiritual journey, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
Not saying my opinion. I'm just trying to state the...
just explaining.
Yeah.
Fascinating stuff, no matter what. But I always think about that. I go back to like the psychology of why people become the way they are. Yeah. And I guess that's why. Now every time I watch Wild and Wonderful Wides, I'm like, damn.
What's going on here?
How do you break it? But which is really what the documentary is about.
Yeah. And it's hard to break it. That's the thing. I mean, think about like your own little, just whatever, your own little.
Your habits.
Yeah.
Let's go with habits. I mean, habits.
Not even habits though. Like even below that, like the way you act.
Yeah.
Let's just say you're like a type of person who you have a little bit of like a short fuse.
But that is a habit. Don't you think that when people, like, if there's a personality trait like that could potentially be changed, it is just a habit. It's you telling yourself over and over, I'm a person with a short fuse, or I'm a person who does this.
Right.
It's hard to, especially if you're constantly naming yourself that, it's hard to break out of the cycle of this is who I am.
Yeah, I would say it's almost impossible.
I think so.
Impossible. And that's what I think of when I think of my own behaviors. Because a lot of people want to say like, oh, tweaker hunters, whatever, these drug addicts, this, that, and the other thing. You pass judgment on them, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're doing all this stuff that's like horrible. I would never do that. But like, there are things that we do that are like sort of out of our control in a way. Like we have out of control behaviors. But fortunately for us, like for me, my out of control behaviors aren't like super destructive.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why I always I feel for people who struggle with these types of things, because it could be me, It
could be any of us.
Like think about a time where, I don't know, someone close to you, your girlfriend or whatever family member, and like you fly off the handle. Mm-hmm. Right. It's like you weren't in control there. So, or if you were like hanging out at a family event and you're like, damn, I've already had 3 cookies, but I want to go in for that 4th cookie, right? And you're like, but I shouldn't do it.
But it's looking really
and
good.
And then the night goes on and on and on. Yeah, and the night goes on and on. And you're like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it.
Sugary.
It's like that's exactly how
I love a cookie. I love an almond cookie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's hard for us to not even do cookies, but for some people, like, that's
crack,
heroin, or whatever,
cocaine,
right? It's like, oh, I shouldn't do it. I really should.
Meth.
Gonna do it. For us, we don't have that problem, so I feel lucky in that way.
Yeah, it is really weird from the outside looking in. Tweaker hunters, man, that I could only watch about 15 minutes of that because that was way too real. That was way too real, because one thing that I always think about with people who are living on the streets and who are on drugs heavily are the potential pets that they have.
Yeah.
Freaks me the fuck out. And about 15 minutes in, a lady picked up a dog that had been like hit by a car and like had an eyeball hanging out, and I was just like,
it didn't have its eyeball hanging out. But
I mean, I don't know what it had, but I just could not mess with that. Yeah. Once you bring animals into it, because they're voiceless beings, that really fucks with me, and I can't watch that. If I could, maybe at our new house, I would adopt 100 animals.
I know. Well, I asked you if you wanted to get some chickens,
I'm just not trying to have my house smell like that,
That's true.
Chickens, I don't want to be out there like trying to broom off coyotes all the time, out there on top of the chicken. I don't want to become.
Let's get a little chicken coop, dude.
I don't want to become like a chicken person who has to like bat off coyotes, and now I'm like worried about my cats trying to eat these chickens.
They wouldn't be able to.
And
dude.
It's already going to be, we already are 2 people who go on tour. Who the hell is going to watch our cats?
All right, someone needs to come over and watch 2 cats and a chicken coop.
So if anyone wants to come and watch our pets in Nashville, and I think I was talking about this before. Okay, so we're going to Nashville right around Christmas. So Naveen and I have decided, for the first time in 10 years, 11, 12, I don't know how long we've been together.
Thanks, babe.
For the first time in like millions of years of being together, because we're, the souls are eternal, and we've been partners in each lifetime.
Okay, I like where this is going.
Several lifetimes. This is the Rocky. The relationship's
This is the tough
rocky
one. This is the one that's really going to show some character.
So the next one will be better. But anyways, so we're going to spend Christmas just seeing the sights in the city.
Yeah, because we're leaving, basically, we're going to drive out there, so it's going to take a few days.
3 or 4 days.
So we're probably going to just be, we're just going to be mobbing around solo in I mean, not solo, but no family.
Yeah.
That's not sad, by the way.
No, it's a happy, because my grandma, when I told my grandma that we were going to spend Christmas alone, she was like, no, you aren't.
Oh, she was.
We will come down there. And I was like, Grandma, we want to. Don't worry. Like, so stay in Indianola, Grandma.
I remember actually one time on tour, me and Steve from Circa. It was Steve Clifford.
Cliffy.
We were. It was Thanksgiving.
That is funny.
It was Thanksgiving.
Steve and Clifford. That's funny.
Oh yeah, I know. I've thought of that before. I've thought of that before.
Because we used. Never mind.
Yeah, just sidetracked. But it was Thanksgiving, and we were on tour.
Oh yeah.
And he and I were like, let's go to a bar.
I love that.
And we went to a bar, and they were serving. It was awesome. It like wasn't depressing.
No,
I
hell
swear.
no. It's not depressing. I'm thinking.
Like, it was fun. They were serving, they had Thanksgiving.
Like little smokies.
No, they had Thanksgiving, like, dinner. You could get, like, chicken or whatever. What do the people eat? Turkey with gravy and everything.
To me, that's a lot of fun. And the thought of spending Christmas, like, going and seeing Nashville. And I've been looking at, like, things to do on Christmas in Nashville. And there are a lot of, like, secret spots. You can go get an eggnog drink, or, they have all the best musicians and a lot of the best musicians in the world in Nashville.
On actual Christmas Day?
On actual Christmas Day. There are things to do on Christmas Day. You can go see the lights. There are bars that are open, eggnog drinks. And, I want to do something like kind of fancy like that.
That sounds good.
If the Grand Ole Opry is open, I'm trying to go and see their Christmas show.
Word.
So I'm gonna be that girlfriend this year and like plan some stuff for us to do on Christmas. So we'll be Ubering around Nashville. So if you guys have any ideas,
we'll be creating around Nashville.
There will probably be a lot of stories created for you. I'm sure you can follow us on our Instagram.
Not me. I got a flip phone, dude. Ain't no more stories for Naveen.
I'm sure you'll find a way, dude. When you get to Wi-Fi though, you'll be posting like stories and drum videos and stuff like that. Or you never. I'm going to
post. It's just I'm only going to post from my house.
That's pretty cool. I think that I might do it as well. I might follow suit. I mean, does anyone? I don't really.
This flip
what
phone
about
is
maps?
Sick, dude.
What about maps?
Okay, I think it has GPS. I'm not sure though.
If it has GPS, I'm sold.
Okay, here's the thing about it. It's a Wi-Fi hotspot.
Oh, so you could just flick it on and use your phone.
Well, if you wanted to do that, but I was thinking like
for GPS.
iPad. Because I have an iPad. So I'm thinking, look, whatever, I got my iPad in my backpack or whatever.
Yeah.
Boom, bust it out. It's on Wi-Fi. You got your Wi-Fi. It's a Wi-Fi phone. It's sick.
Sounds really complicated, but I'm going to see how it works out for you, and then I might follow suit. If it seems easy, because there are some things that modern technology has brought along with it that are kind of like...
I know, that's what people who are addicted to heroin say. They're like, I couldn't give up heroin.
That's what people who have never lived in the city of Nashville...
How am I going to go around with no heroin?
Never lived in the city of Nashville and want a GPS to drive around say.
Just MapQuest that shit, dude.
Fuck that, dude. I have lived through MapQuest, and I lived through that to get to where I am now. I've done the printing out MapQuest shit. I'm never doing
GPS is a
We couldn't even get our printer to work today.
No, we couldn't.
So what the hell am I going to do with some MapQuest directions? I'm going to be struggling over my printer for 30 minutes before I leave the house every time?
Here's what you do. You go on Google or whatever, right?
I know how to use a MapQuest.
And you write it down in a notebook. And then you're like left on this place, right on this one.
Oh my God.
That's what you do.
I'm not doing that.
And then you actually know where you're going. You have to pay attention.
I don't like paying attention. I like listening to music and have a fucking really stern voice get on GPS. That's why I'm going to have GPS.
That's the problem.
When you're asking me to use my GPS, I'll be like, I told you so.
I'm not going to ask.
Fucking told you so.
You know why? Because I'm going to have a metropolitan map.
All right. I'm not going to ever let you use my... No, I am going to let you use my GPS because I refuse to get lost with you.
I'm going to have a metropolitan map and you highlight your route to where you're going.
We're going to end up in Gallatin. That's where we're going to be hanging out because you're not going to be able to find Nashville.
True. Maybe I'll get a TomTom.
Damn. Remember those?
Yeah.
See, okay, I started touring when there were TomToms.
Yeah.
I mean, I started like playing shows out of state.
No, dude, we had, I'm going to say right now, Animosity had like, we were the first band to have a TomTom.
Those things were expensive.
And dude, it was this wide. It was like.
The first band
dude,
like on planet
huge.
Earth.
Nobody else had one. I'm telling
really?
You. It was this fucking deep. It was like a whatever that's called, CRT TV. It was huge.
Wow.
And it was like $500. It might have even been more than 500.
You guys had to like, you guys band funded that?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Actually, you know what's funny is the technology hasn't really improved.
No, it's just just moved onto your phone.
It got us everywhere. It had Chipotle in there. Like it had the restaurants.
They were a little slower because I've used a TomTom in the last like maybe 6 years.
You also couldn't just punch the address in. It was like, what town are you going to?
Yeah, it took forever to fill out.
What's the street?
It was like a whole goddamn resume you had to fill out.
Zip? Like it was.
Who lives there?
Yeah.
And if you didn't pick the right name, it made you choose between like Tom and Scott and
it was shitty.
David.
And
if you chose the wrong person, then it would send you back to square one.
Yeah.
What was up with that?
We'll go with that. But it was. I remember getting a iPhone, and it's like you could just punch the address in.
You said you had a Sidekick as well, right?
I did, but I don't know if that had GPS in it.
Sidekicks were really shitty.
No, they weren't. That was a great product.
Yeah, I never had one. I'm just saying that because
I was
jealous.
thinking of today?
I wish I had one. That was like this cool scene kid thing to do.
You know what I was thinking of today is the height of healthy technology.
Yeah.
Was an iPod video.
I didn't even need one of those, but yeah.
Ever since an iPod video, it's just gone toxic and more.
Probably.
In my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Because think about it. With an iPod video, you've got really good technology.
Yeah.
You can watch movies. You can listen to music. You can listen to audiobooks.
Couldn't you get online with those too?
No.
Okay.
But you had to put it on there. So you had to be intentional in what you're listening to, watching. Whereas it's like now we've kind of just...
it's a fucking free-for-all.
We've like handed over the keys to the phone.
Yeah.
Tell me what to listen to. You go on Spotify and you're like, Spotify, Lord, please let me know what to listen to.
I never do that though.
Here's what you're going to listen to.
I don't do
little
that.
Guy.
Spotify, I never use those playlists because...
I don't care. I don't care
like
what I
mix,
listen to.
The mixy thing has shown me some good bands, but more often than not, it's really crappy derivative bullshit that I don't want to hear.
Yeah, I know. But
I don't even really take recommendations from people that often.
Okay, so you're like, I'm
as
not
to what to
Spotify
listen to.
Tell me what to fuck you. I'm not doing that shit. That's what you're saying?
Sometimes I do, but a lot of the time I don't. A lot of the time, me finding out about music is like I finally have to be active in finding out about it.
That's what I'm saying. So yeah, the flip phone that I'm getting you can put music or videos on it.
Yeah.
It's got a lot. You can put up to a 512 gig.
That's nice.
Right?
That is nice.
And it connects to your Bluetooth headphones.
Yeah.
So you're good to go there. A guy was on the Amazon reviews being like, he was like a tech guy. You know, he's like, I was really hesitant to get rid of my iPhone. I got this thing. It's fucking badass. And he connects his AirPods to it.
That's dope.
But yeah.
A little new, a little old.
Yeah.
Something old, something new, something black, something blue.
It's a flip phone for the future.
Just like you're getting married.
There you go.
Black and blue and old and new. Is that it?
I don't know. I don't
something
know.
Borrowed, something blue. I think that's something
like a
borrowed, something
thing.
New. I don't fucking know.
That's the grooms don't fuck with all that. I don't think so.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
All right, should we take some questions or just end it right here?
Let's do a question or two.
A Q or two. Do you have the questions on that sheet? Do they work? No.
No, I only have them on my phone.
Okay. Word
to your mother.
Couple Q's. I should probably make like a little questions theme song.
Questions. Here's the questions. We're gonna answer your questions. It's question time with you. Ba-doom, ba-dum-ba.
Actually, I did make a theme
question
song.
Time. Mine was better.
You think so?
Okay. Okay. Luke Cleland. As I'm sure many will ask, new album ETA.
Whoa.
You tell me, Naveen. When's it coming out?
Yeah, so it's going to come out early next year.
Yeah.
Right.
We have some tentative months in mind. And we have a due date. So wish us luck. Cross your fingers.
Yeah, so we are working on it. We're all, it's a Nashville effort at this point.
Yeah. It's a Nashvillian villain.
No, everyone who's working on the album is living in Nashville, except for us. But
That's
we will
true.
soon.
But we will be soon. Except for the art.
True.
So
true, except for the art.
It's a European-based
That's
artwork.
a bummer, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
So if anyone in Nashville does art and wants us to kick off
over.
the person that we've got working on art right now.
Early next year, I mean, we're just still working on the vocals.
Working on vocals, working on bass,
Doing the bass.
solos.
No, I did my parts way quick. These guys slackers.
No, there are
taking
some
forever.
solo parts. And then, after vocals and bass are done, we'll probably do, and by we, I mean, I will be judging while Naveen does the hard work on the a little ambiance.
Some ambience. Here
Yeah.
Not too crazy. Nothing too crazy.
Nothing too crazy.
Just kind of, some layers here and there.
So yeah, it's almost done.
To say we did it.
The album is really, really closing in on completion. We've obviously had a few hiccups along the way, such as
mishaps.
Me getting in a
sense of
really bad scooter
plastic
accident.
surgeries.
Yeah. Plastic surgeries.
Stitches.
Yeah.
Blood.
Yeah.
Soaked scooter grips.
Yeah. So that's the name of the album.
Yeah. Blood-soaked scooter grips.
No, it's
due out.
Surgeries, stitches, and blood-soaked scooter grips.
That sounds kind of like an emo band's album.
Early 2022.
You know what I'm saying? Like an emo band's album from like 2006. Or not emo, but like...
Stitches and the blood-soaked
I'm
scooter tips for you.
I'm thinking more of like one of those like noisy grind-ish kind of cool bands. Yeah.
This is what their song sounds like. Hit it.
No, because that's death metal.
I guess. Is it?
I'm thinking more of like a spastic kind of math rock.
Do you remember when grindcore was like all the shit?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, totally. Grindcore, it was like 1 to 2 minute songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
That's blood-soaked grips.
Are there a lot of bands like that now? I just think that genres have like separated so much in the metal world. I was just talking about this with someone the other day, but that's what's so cool about metal is that there's so many genres that exist within it.
It's fragmented. But they have fragmented a little more than they used to be. All right.
Another good album title.
Fragmented?
Fragmented more than it used to be. That's like a title.
That made it emo.
Fragmented more than it used to be.
Wait.
I slit my wrists.
Cheney, Matt Corbin is asking, what is one vinyl record that you don't have but would love to own someday?
Honestly, the only one right now is the Isis Oceanic that I'm waiting on.
That you already ordered.
That I ordered, and I don't own it, technically, because they only sent me Panopticon, and it's pushed back 6 months.
There you go. There's vinyl shortages these days, guys.
There really are. That's what everyone keeps telling me. Besides that, the only other vinyls I really care about are getting our first 2 releases on vinyl, to be honest with you.
Pappy's in here.
Because I'm not all concerned about. I love collecting vinyl, but I'm not like out there just itching to spend all my money.
I've been thinking about that a little bit more, to be honest with you, Cheney, because we know that the Spotify thing is not really, it's not a good thing for bands. Let's put it that way, right? I'm going to be nice. But a way that you can support is you can buy the music. So I have been thinking, man, I think if I like an album, I should really make an effort to buy it.
I've been doing that. I do that for our friends. I like buying our friends' albums.
Yeah, but I'm saying even more than our friends, like just
bands
albums I like.
Yeah, I buy
because another thing is now that I got my flip phone, I'm going to need to download the music to put it on there. Yeah. And if you buy the vinyl, usually it comes with a download code.
True. Yep.
So for me,
Pappy
I'm gonna
is
have
just
to buy
taking a nappy in my arms.
Papster. He's not napping. He's looking kind of. I don't know. He's looking weird.
No, he's being comfortable. Pappy is so comfortable. He's emo cat. He's an emo cat for you.
Look at
what was with that vocal style when it was like, yo? Oh, he's just gonna take a nap on the table.
All right. Should we end it, Jenny? I think we should end it.
Take a nap for you.
This is our cat, Pappy. For those who can't see, he's a tuxedo cat, and
he's our favorite.
He's
out of
kind of going through all these cables. Now he's going to stand on the... Jenny, get him out of here. God.
He likes it.
He loves to do it. Damn it.
Oh.
Pappy, get the hell out of here. He's doing his thing all the time. He loves to do his thing. Anyway,
Pappy loves to
we
do
will be
his
back
thing for you.
next week with some guests here. Not Pappy, but actual guests.
We have actual guests next week. All right, have a good week, you guys. Email us. Let us know how you feel. How you doing, baby?
We will see y'all next freaking week.
It's the freaking weekend.
Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Peace.
Good night. And good morning.